All right, Lakeland School Community, this is your Assistant Superintendent, Mr. Novak. Today is Wednesday, May 27th. It's my son Derek's third birthday, so happy birthday to Derek. It's also my brother Dave's 33rd birthday, so happy birthday to Uncle Dave. Hopefully everybody's doing well. It's early in the morning. I'm recording from a little bit of a different location because I want to get this information out to you as quickly as possible. As you guys have seen, I'm recording most of my videos very early in the morning, and sometimes that presents some problems. The reason I record early in the morning is because it works within my schedule. I would love to say that I just, record a video and send it to you guys, and I pop off an email to students, and I send it to them, and I pop off an email to staff, and I send it to them, and that's the only thing I have to do during the day. But unfortunately, in addition to all the familial responsibilities I have, my wife is a history teacher, so our hours are, very, very, very packed. My daughter's in kindergarten, so obviously with virtual learning, it's challenging to keep a kindergartner engaged for any amount of time. My son is 2, well now 3, and it's hard to keep him engaged for an amount of time. But my days when it comes to work are exceptionally busy, especially with all the requirements from the Department of Education, and then working with our administration and our staff to try and run a school virtually. It's challenging, but yesterday was one of those days where you get information out early in the morning and then things change immediately. So just address the elephant in the room and get right into it. So yesterday, Governor Murphy announced via Twitter that New Jersey, quote, New Jersey high schools will be allowed to hold in-person graduation ceremonies beginning July 6th, as long as they're outside and they comply with social distancing. He continued by stating, quote, the state will release guidance Wednesday, which is today, this afternoon, for social distancing requirements and other necessary health and safety measures. Some graduating classes may be too large for a single ceremony with social distancing. Multiple ceremonies might need to be held across different times and days to ensure proper social distancing. Again, he continued. The state will give schools a maximum number of people allowed at the ceremony based on updated health data. Along these lines, our graduation committee has a meeting scheduled for Thursday, after we receive the appropriate guidance from the Department of Education. Governor Murphy's announcement yesterday might seem very straightforward and very simple, but based on his words, there's a lot to unpack. So our graduation committee, which is made up of a group of students who are seniors, Mr. Beatty, Dr. Finkelstein, Ms. Mazza, Ms. Harmon, and Ms. Lutz, they are meeting on Thursday afternoon after we receive the appropriate guidance from the Department of Education. After that group meets and logistics are discussed, we're going to get back to you regarding our plans for graduation. Obviously, it's a lot to unpack right now. We are in the very early phases of possibly replanning our graduation at this point. I know it's challenging. I know it's difficult, but there's a lot to unpack. So what I'm doing and what I'm asking is for everybody to have just a little bit of patience. We are not going to have any new information to you guys until early next week, regarding any plans for graduation. Because again, there's a lot that is included in Governor Murphy's address that happened yesterday. We're considering it. The committee is getting together, and they're going to be meeting, and they're going to be discussing all of these things in logistics. So please bear with us regarding graduation. Collection of materials, locker clean out, we talked about it a little bit yesterday. Underclassmen, we're working with the appropriate channels to set up a time for you to come to campus. At the time, you're going to drop off books, materials, Chromebooks that you may have borrowed, and get a yearbook that you might have purchased. We're going to coordinate that with locker clean out as well, if you have to clean out your lockers at this point. Most students did on the last day that we actually had in-class instruction. We want to do everything in a very coordinated and safe way. Although we don't yet have a date, we are not going to be collecting materials prior to June 18th. Ultimately, since you are returning to Lakeland Regional High School in the fall as a student, we're not really in a hurry to get those materials because we are going to see you at some point next year. Based on guidance from the Department of Education, we might wait a little bit. We don't want to, but we might have to wait. And to be totally candid, be honest with you, there was supposed to be a webinar coming from the Office of Emergency Management that was supposed to happen last week or 2 weeks ago. That's been now pushed off until Friday. So we'll get more guidance from the Department of Education. Seniors, a little bit of a different story. Our caps and gowns, we found out, are en route to Lakeland Regional High School. We're going to be coordinating cap and gown distribution with yearbook distribution, the collection of items, and again, possible locker clean out if you need that. We are going to be distributing these items once everything arrives on our campus. Again, we want you guys to be as safe as possible. Only have to come to Lakeland one time. We anticipate that date being around mid-June. We are not going to ask you guys to come to campus prior to June 12th because that is our last day of instruction. A little peek behind the curtain. On June 2nd, we are going to have a meeting as an administrative team to discuss how we are going to deal with locker clean out and dropping off of items and things like that. So we're going to have more information to you guys after June 2nd. Our schedule for the next 2 weeks, ready, set, go. Today, Wednesday, May 27th is an A day. Thursday, the 28th is a B day. Friday, the 29th, not a Lancer day. It's an A day. Monday, June 1st is a B day. Tuesday, June 2nd, my mom's birthday, is an A day. Wednesday, June 3rd is a B day. Thursday, June 4th, that's an A day. And then Friday, June 5th, that's a Lancer day. Our last announcement for today, thanks to Mr. Pilshaw, Mr. Kelly, Mr. White, and Mr. Lauder, we have officially filmed our coffee house. We had a few last-minute videos get submitted prior to 11:59 last evening. I recorded all of my intros yesterday. It was a lot of fun to kind of see everything. I'm excited to see exactly how Mr. Lauder puts it together. Once we have a YouTube link for that, we're going to send it out. But it was kind of cool to have a sense of normalcy and return to that. That's it for you guys. Again, circling back to what I said before regarding graduation, our graduation committee is meeting on Thursday. Again, the reason they're meeting on Thursday is because we want to get all the information from the Department of Education before we start to possibly replan another graduation ceremony. We're going to pass along the information. Hopefully you guys know me well enough by now. I've recorded a lot of these addresses. I try to be as transparent, as forthcoming, as ahead of the information as humanly possible. I'm filming right now at 4:30 in the morning. I'm going to publish this as soon as my old, slow iPhone will allow me to publish this. So it might take an hour, it might take 2 hours, I'm not sure. But new information is going to be coming out on Wednesday from the Department of Education. Based on that information, we're then going to have information that's going to go out to you guys. The committee's meeting on Thursday. We'll get new information out to you guys early next week. We love you. We miss you. Bear with us. It's a lot to unpack. But on the flip side of that, do your part. Freshmen, sophomores, juniors, seniors, regardless of what grade you're in, make sure you're doing your work and you're putting yourself in a position to be successful. Love you guys. Miss you. Happy birthday, Dave. Happy birthday, Derek. Love you guys.